and integrity. Through both my parents, I learned that if you actually care about something, you better get up and do something about it. This book is a biography of my dad's political life. However, it is also a primer for would-be politicians. Its most salient message? Political victory worth having rarely comes easy. Rachel Notley, September 2015. Preface to the first edition. When the European settlers streamed into this land 100 years ago, the prairies seemed a vast, almost unending region, a tabula rasa, awaiting only the imprint of their collective hands. It was virtually unspoiled and unresisting. Over the years, the settlers changed the prairies dramatically, building farms, homes, towns, and eventually cities. Just as importantly, they also built new social structures. The experiences of isolation, oppression, and alienation plowed new social furrows beside those in the land. These cultural roots remain with us today. They nourish us, providing us with a sense of heritage, a stability, a sense of place in a world which constantly seeks to change our values and norms. As you might expect, we look to our community leaders for verification of these values, for personification of what we hold closest. Some leaders stand out in this respect. They are almost archetypal, so vividly familiar that we immediately identify with them. Somehow they reflect a truth about ourselves which demands our attention. Such a man was Grant Notley. In the society and politics of Alberta, he stood out. Albertans felt intuitively that he represented a part of their collective being, and his untimely death touched them deeply. When he died, a bit of Alberta died. He was us, and we miss him. Acknowledgements. I would like to acknowledge a number of people who have contributed significantly to the second edition of Grant Notley, The Social Conscience of Alberta. First and foremost, I would like to thank Rachel Notley for taking time out of an incredibly busy schedule to write the foreword for the new edition. That she would do so, amongst the minor tasks of setting up a new government, putting together a throne speech, crafting a new budget, and generally adapting to the job of Premier of Alberta, tells us much about her feelings toward her father. I would also like to thank all of the people at the University of Alberta Press for agreeing to do a second edition. A special thank you to those who did considerable work on pictures, research, fact-checking, rewriting, cover design, and marketing. Unless you have worked for a press or served on the board for a press, you have very little understanding of how much work goes into putting out a decent book. It is especially important that university presses be acknowledged for their work during this period of time when academic publishers are under considerable financial pressure. Well done, University of Alberta Press. I would also like to thank Brian Mlatzgar, former head of the Canadian Plains Research Centre Press, for his help in proofreading and his general help and friendship in making this second edition possible. As with the first edition, a special thanks to Aidan Charlton for helping out with the crafting of the new introduction. Once again, I need to thank the Alberta New Democratic Party, the Provincial Archives of Alberta, and Tom Sigurdsson for making photographs available for this edition. Finally, I would like to again thank all of those who made the first edition possible. In particular, I wish to thank Sandy Notley Kreutzer for taking the time to talk to me about Grant, as well as all of those people who permitted me to record their observations and recollections. I am also grateful to Mark Zwelling, who sent me his tapes of conversations with Grant, to Linda Sarafinchin, who provided many useful documents, and to Bill Dryden and Ann Hopp for their help interviewing and consulting. Finally, I would like